In just about 24 hours, the honorary starters will hit their tee shots and the start of the 82nd Masters will begin. Spring is here, people. How's it, golf fans? Reid Fowler here in the DK Live Studios, joined with our good friend from Golfweek, Brentley Romine, who's lucky enough to be a quick 15-minute Mike Weir Uber away from Augusta. Brentley, we know your Wednesday is a busy day for you, so let's get to it. Obviously, this is a stacked field at the top. So in terms of salary ranges, who are you chasing and who are you fading from what you've seen so far at Augusta?
Well, I think you have to start right at the top. I'm going to fade the most expensive player, Dustin Johnson, at $11,400. That's $600 more than anybody else in the field. I would fade that just because I think there are plenty other high-priced options that will be, one, cheaper, and two, I think will beat DJ this week. You have to start with Phil Mickelson. He's $9,500. That is the eighth highest priced player, I believe. Justin Thomas is another guy at $10,800 that's going to play really well. Just a great ball striker, and obviously Tiger Woods at $10,000. I think a lot of people are picking him to do well, and he's already made 3 eagles. Although you got to put an asterisk on that so far in his 2 practice rounds this week. So he's feeling good, and like you said, Reid, there's just a lot of guys that you could really target.
So yeah, you're taking it. You're looking at the top of that salary and saying, hey, there are a lot of guys in that high 9, mid 9K range that you could really roster or construct your roster on. So you really could have 3 to 4 elite players with soft DK pricing. So what price ranges do you like, or where do you see best value? Because we see guys like Paul Casey in the 8,800, and again with just like a WGC field. These guys are elite from top to bottom. So in terms of what you're seeing and in that price range, where do you like? Because we got Henrik Stenson at 7,800. So what do you think? What price range do you like a lot?
Well, I don't like Stenson just because he's never really seemed to play this course well. He's played it a bunch and just hasn't finished like people would expect. A ball striker of his standards too. But you mentioned Paul Casey. I think Paul Casey is a fantastic option. He's finished 6th the last 2 years here. 8,800 is a really good price for him. But the best value, I'm going down the list all the way to the 7,000, 6,900 range. And there's 3 players that I'm keeping my eye on because of one particular stat. I saw somewhere where the last 5 or 6 winners have all ranked inside the top 7, I believe, in strokes gained tee to green entering the week. So you just have to look at a guy like Kevin Chappell, who's not quite in the top 7, but he's definitely around there. So he's 6,900. Obviously played well here last year. T7 to earn his way back. Francisco Molinari is another guy who hits it very well, tee to green. But Brendan Steele at 6,900 is my sleeper. He's played well here in the past. He has the power, the length to contend here, has the ball striking, and that really fits the profile of all our recent winners in that above average length, great ball striker, and that's really the recipe to succeed out here at Augusta National.
Yeah, we'll see Kevin Chappell. He exited early at the match play with some back pain, and we're not really seeing anything yet in terms of updates. So I think it's safe to say that he's going to play. Obviously, you're not going to skip Augusta. And then, like you were talking about, right? You have a lot of guys down in that range that can pop, right? A Kevin Chappell, a Bryson DeChambeau, I think is at 6,900. So predicting ownership, if you're going high, right, with those guys, potentially a Tiger, and when you get a Millie Maker contest, you're going to get a lot of casual players, and so you need a unique roster. So guys like Phil, Tiger, these guys who have name value will be owned. So who do you think, in terms of being most owned from what you're seeing at the course, who are guys that we can't fade? Like you were saying, like a Brendan Steele potentially, who is not going to be highly owned, but maybe a Paul Casey who might, because of his win at Valspar, who do you think is going to be heavily owned, but we just can't fade?
Well, obviously Tiger's going to be heavily owned, but I think you can fade Tiger. Paul Casey probably jumps to the top of the list. No, we just talked about him, but won recently at Valspar. Great ball striker. Putting's the question, but putting was a question with Sergio. Putting's been a question with Danny Willett. Obviously, a question with Spieth this year. But, yeah, I think Paul Casey's probably the guy that you just can't afford to fade. And also, a lot of guys are going to be picking a Brendan Steele or a Kevin Chappell. So it's interesting. And, do you want to pick those guys or do you want to maybe try a fly or maybe a Daniel Berger who's been playing well that not a lot of guys will own? Or maybe even like someone like John Rahm who hasn't really showed it in the last, few weeks, but, definitely a guy that has the talent to win here and, definitely someone that not a lot of people are going to be really looking at.
Got it. Okay, so final question here. Who you got winning it all?
Ooh, that's tough. I normally don't pick till Wednesday night, but I'll give you two options. I really like Paul Casey. He's made 11 career starts here. T6 or better 4 times, including the last 2 of the last 3 years. Actually, 3 straight top 6s, I believe. So, hopefully, the stat checkers aren't really checking. But yeah, I really like Paul Casey. Checks all the statistical categories in terms of strokes gained, approach to the green, par 5 scoring, bogey avoidance. I think I'm going to go with Casey, and then Justin Thomas being my kind of less, more obvious pick to win.